Here are some exercises you can do while you're sitting down and you need to be in front of the camera. So when you are sitting, the trick is to sit so that you're sitting in the correct position, and that is feet are straight, fist width apart, and then your ankle is directly below the knee. And then you want to sit so that, I'm going to show you this from the side so you can see better. Don't sit so like a lot of people think if you're having a back straight, it's just pushing your chest out, but then your butt is still tucked inwards. That's the wrong way to sit up straight. What you want to do is to stick your butt out like this, and then your spine will naturally go into an S curve, and then you will naturally be sitting up straight. So this is the secret to, if you want to sit up straight in front of the camera, this is the correct posture you need to do it in. So for all the exercise we'll be doing, you need to be in this sit up straight position. So that means stick your butt out, and then your shoulders will be aligned with your hip and you'll be sitting up straight. All right? So this is an exercise you can do just on its own by just sitting up straight like this with your arms relaxed. And then once you've sit up straight in this position, we can continue on with the shoulder rolls, and which is very simple. You just pull your shoulder blades back, then up, then roll them forward. And then you can do this for as many times as you want. So pull them back, then up, then roll them forward and down. So let's say if you're going to do 10 reps in this direction, make sure you do the same amount of repetition when we go in the opposite direction in a bit. So you can do 10 up to 30 repetitions in this exercise. The more you do, the more effective it will be. So now once you've done this in this pulling back up and forward position, let's pull it up, then circle them back, then down. Pull it up, circle backwards and down. Do this for the same amount of repetition, and make sure when you're doing this that you still have your butt stick out and you are sitting upright when you're doing this exercise. And remember to breathe as you're doing this. All right. So now you've done the shoulder rolls, you've released some of your shoulder tension. Next thing we'll take over is you may be feeling some tightness in the hip area. So we're going to do a simple cross leg position like this. If you're having trouble just crossing your leg like this, it is a sign that you are too tight. So just cross as much as you can, and then when you're crossing, remember we're still in the sitting up proper position with the butt stick out. So you're sitting upright. Cross your legs like this, make sure your ankle, knee, hip, shoulders in a straight line. And then when you're in this position, relax your hands, and all you need to do is use your thigh to push your knee away from you. So you're pushing it down towards the floor, and you just hold in this position for 1 minute. All right, so set a timer on for 1 minute and do this for 1 minute. As you can see, no one will ever know that you are actually stretching your leg, your hip, when you're in front of the camera in this. How cool is that? So once 1 minute's up, put the leg down and then cross the other side. Make sure it's the same, and just notice the difference between crossing left and right leg, which side is tighter. And then when you are in position, make sure butt stick out, push your knee down towards the floor away from you, and we hold for the same amount of time for another minute. All right, so make sure you are using the timer when you are doing this, so your left and right side is stretched for the same amount of time, so your left and right side is balanced. You don't want to have one side looser than the other, then you're going to start to feel a lot of imbalance in your body, and that's not good. All right, but for filming purposes today, I'm just showing you how to do it so you can time it yourself. And then after this is done for 1 minute on each side, so the next exercise we'll be doing is, because a lot of time when we're sitting too long, we've been bending our legs a lot, and you're going to feel a lot of tightness from the lower back all the way to our leg. So we're going to do a simple leg extension exercise in this position, sitting upright, feet straight, fist width apart. We're just going to stick one leg out like this, but make sure your feet are not inverted like that. Make sure your feet is straight, and then you're flexing your feet towards you, so your thighs are tight and you're sitting up straight. So you're just in this, holding in this position for as long as you can, up to 1 minute if you can. If not, pick a time. Let's say if you're going to go for 30 seconds, do 30 seconds on this leg, and then when you feel like it's done, stick this other one out, feet straight, outside feet straight. That's important, and feet totally flexed towards you, thighs are tight. Hold in this position for the exact same amount of time. All right, so if you're 30 seconds on this side, make sure you're doing 30 seconds on this side as well. And then after this, you're going to feel like, oh wow, there's some tension release in your lower body. It's amazing. And no one knew you were doing this. Okay, and then finally, let's get some release on our ankle heel because you've been sitting too long. This may feel too tight. So we're going to be, again, still sitting in this proper position, butt stick out, sitting upright, feet straight, cross our legs, and this time you can either use your hand, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. If you think you have stinky feet, then you don't have to use your hand. But if you do use your hand, you're going to get a different type of stretch in between the toes. So I'm going to use my hands today. So I'm going to interlace my fingers with my toes like this. Okay? Fully interlace it. And then we're going to use our hands to drive our foot to go in a circular motion outwards and then inwards, then flex, point, okay? So I'm just going to go like this, sitting up straight, butt sticking out, and I'm going to use my hand to help drive my feet in a circular motion like this. And let's say I'm doing this for 10 times. And then make sure I'm doing it for the same amount of reps the other way, okay? 10 times. So you can do this 10 to 40 reps, up to you. You pick the number because everyone's body is different. So don't do something that's going to hurt you, okay? Do something you are comfortable with. And then when the time rep is done, let's do this point and flex for the same amount of reps, all right? So you're going to feel a nice stretch in between the toes and from the shin, calves, ankle, feet, heel area. It's a subtle movement, so no one will know you are doing this on camera. Yeah, and so when that's done, let's place our feet back onto the floor, cross the other leg, do the same thing, interlace our fingers with our toes. Let's stick it in there like that. Make sure you're sitting upright, butt sticking out. And then when you're doing this, just make sure you're not leaning forward like that to do it, because then you lose the effect. So make sure you're still standing, like sitting upright like this, and then just using your hand to guide your feet in a circular motion like so. All right? Something like this for like, let's say 10 reps. And then we go backwards 10 times. And then point and flex 10 times. Alright, and the only difference is if you don't feel like using your hands because you don't want to get it dirty, then just let your feet do the same thing on its own. It works. The only difference is you're not going to get the stretch between the toes. So you can play with this. So these are the exercises you can do while you need to be sitting in front of the camera. Hope this helps.